So it's this green sea that we've been seeing more and more of in Europe for the past 10 years. Is that a great deal? You know, the sea in Europe is about 50% larger than the land, so that's something good to know. You know, and is this something that that we use to keep the sort of side effects of the Green Deal away from our terrestrial backyard? You know, regardless of if that's true or not, it's important to realize that you know, that we as a geological community have a role to play together across land and sea to provide answers for this Green Deal. So let's talk about this and think about it a little bit more. So, you know, we heard about surgery just before. You know, my father isn't a chef, so but I still think it's good to compare geology and geology as part of science-based decision-making to cooking. And you know, what is important to realize is that in order to create a good meal, you need ingredients. You need enough ingredients. So, and we're contributing to that in the European Marine Observation and Data Network. In fact, what we're doing there is a sort of a fusion cooking. And obviously, if you have a dish that's just geology, it's kind of, well, probably inedible. But if you add some chemistry to it and some human intervention or human activity, you might come up with something that's actually quite good. So, you know, when we get to this decision making, it is important to realize also that if we decide on, you know, where we can get the best stuff, where we can get the cheapest stuff, where we can get the sort of healthiest stuff, or the stuff that's sort of most secure, you know, locally sourced, for example, then we, you know, sticking to that same metaphor, we need to sell the attractiveness of surf and turf. So we need to cross this boundary. We just saw a beautiful map, the only map that is actually land-sea and covers all of Europe. But we need more of that. You know, we saw chemistry, but the chemistry stopped at the shoreline. You know, this is something that I think we should try to do something about it. And importantly, you know, so what is that key ingredient that we as geologists bring to the table? You know, at first, in some moment of insanity, I came up with mayonnaise being added to the caviar of Belgium, French fries. And, but later, last night, I thought that, that perhaps a better analogy for us would be that we provide the salt. And we have to wonder why, you know, a thing that makes so many meals better and better tasting is such a hard sell. Well, there's actually 3 reasons for it. You know, the first one is that you just, most of the time, you don't notice that it's in a dish. It's invisible. A second reason is that when you notice it because it's too little or too much. And that's really something important to, well, to realize when we're doing that. So those are, I think, very important things to consider when we're talking about salt. And now I forget the third reason, but I'm sure that you'll forgive me for that. But when it comes to, you know, using our salt for decision making, we have to wonder how this well, this will stick and this will contribute. And the best way to do that is to think about you know, how we can make sure that we provide something that cannot be provided by some of our partners. And that is often the long-term perspective that we're looking at. And one of the things there is that in order to make our salt visible and noticeable, we just have to make sure that we say something about, you know, that there's no perfect solution for the Green Deal. When we're talking about Green Deal decisions, you know, sometimes they come with side effects that we just have to be honest about up front. So, you know, Green Deal decisions are not necessarily sort of the best choice, but it's a balancing act that we're part of as a geological community, and that's, I think, the key message that we have to bring across. So thank you for listening to me.